Welcome back to Imagine Mobile Church. Today we're going to take a look at the Corporate Admins tab. This is the third tab in the Manage People section. You're going to notice once again that the search filter is your friend, and the search filter is identical to the search filter in the All People page and the Group Admins page. What you may be looking at, which is a little different, is the button section here below. We're going to be adding additional buttons, but for now, you really have everything that you need. So as you scroll down here, you're going to notice the corporate admins that we have in the system. And right now we have about 5. The way to add someone as a corporate admin is very simple. You click on the Add User tab here, and then you begin to add them. You could either add them from scratch and add them to groups as we've done before with the short form or the long form. You can fill out the information as we've done so many times before, or you can simply come up here if they're an existing user and begin typing in a letter that's in their name. In this case, we're going to add David Denton. Now, you'll get the success notification up above, and let's scroll down here for just a minute and find David. So here we have David Denton. He is a new corporate admin. So what does that mean? Well, if he was a group admin before, then automatically he is moved out of the group admin page and he remains permanently in the corporate admin page because a corporate admin has rights as a group admin. Now, let's take a look over here next to David Denton, and you're going to notice a couple of new things. First of all, we're going to look at this icon here underneath the action column, which is called Manage Permissions. So I'm going to click on Manage Permissions for just a minute. And notice here, this software was created with multiple layers of security so that you don't give out more information or more access than you need to. And this is how it works. Basically, if you want to give David Denton access, all you have to do is check the box next to the information that's provided. So if I want to give David access to update training or create groups, add other users, manage the users, manage group admins, add general events, I would select these here and click on Submit. Once I click on Submit, when I go back into David's profile, what are you going to notice? You're going to notice that these things were saved. So now he has access to all of these areas. If I want to give him access to global events or public events to add them, then I would just do the same here. If I want him to update the organizational information, then I would click here. If I want him to get donation reports for all users, I would just select here. Manage email templates, view self-calendar activities of everyone. If I just want him to see his own self-calendar activities, I uncheck this. If I want him to manage the background checks, which we advise to limit it to 1 or 2 people at the most, I would check this. If I don't, I simply leave it blank. The rest is pretty self-explanatory. Helping to manage tasks and create tasks, helping to manage events and create events. Vanco categories has to do with finances if your church uses the Vanco payment solutions. Update finances. Again, if I don't want him to touch anything to do with finances, I simply leave it blank. Now, if I come up here, if I want him to help me with training and manage groups and import people and all the things related to people, then I would just select all these things. Now, if I don't really want him to update the calendar for the all church events, then I leave these things blank. If I don't want him to see any of the financial summary reports, I leave this blank. If I want to give him access to add different email templates, and let's say David is very good in design and he's very techie, sure, no problem. But again, offline donations, leave it. All campus view authority, I can leave that. And Zoho information pertains to managing vendors, I can leave that blank. Editing all people evaluations, I'm going to need his help with that. Tracking event attendance, absolutely. I want him to help me and add and edit the events. And then transaction reports, no, because that has to do with payment information. If I want David to manage notes and add notes for people, then I can add that information there, and he can help me follow up with the people by keeping information in their user profile. Once I click on submit, then all of this information for David is saved. Now, another thing that I'd like you to notice here on David's tab is, again, you can edit. You can edit David. You could also make him inactive by clicking there. You can view his information, or the other thing here is change user. If I click on change user, notice this note here. Are you sure you want to change this sub-corporate user to a corporate user? And in this case, I'm going to click OK. What happens is, once I do that, I remove David as a sub-corporate admin or a corporate admin. It's the same thing. And now he's no longer part of this group. So let's say, for an example, you have a situation in your church where you need to remove the authority and privileges. That's how you could do it. Okay, so very important. The other way you could do it is you would come here and select delete user. That would remove this user from the corporate admins list, but not from the database. So that gives you a very simple overview of the corporate admins tab.